Hey, I'm just a video commentary making machine today. I just feel like I got so much to say. Um, well, any of you know me long enough watching this channel over the last what was it? Since February this year, 2020. You know that I'm pretty much an obnoxious Bernie bro. I am the only difference between me and a Bernie bro. I'm middle age. I'm not some young purple hair college kid. But I have been very obsessed by a team that would have been poetic justice to defeat Donald Trump and Mike Pence in November. I like to call this, I sort of like to think of it as what could have been. As you know, as I said, I'm a Bernie Sanders supporter. I know I sound like a sycophant for Bernie Sanders. I just really admire Bernie Sanders, and I've been since 1990 when I first heard of him. And I am bummed that we don't have more people like Bernie Sanders around. But I've been a big time Bernie Sanders supporter through and through. Have donated to his congressional reelection campaigns, his U.S. Senate campaigns, his two presidential campaigns. I have I have I've attended Bernie Sanders rallies before. I'm pretty much a big time supporter of Bernie Sanders, and for the obvious reasons. Yeah, I mean, he is speaking on issues that the Democratic Party should have been speaking on all these years, but have basically tossed out of the window. And Bernie Sanders, who was an independent, had to sit there and advocate issues that should have been easy issues for the Democrats to campaign instead of running away from the way they had been running away from it for the last 30, 40 years. So, the obvious reasons: Medicare for all, strong labor unions, a very, very generous safety net that protects all people from the shortfalls of our capitalist system, uh, racial equality, civil liberties, free speech, equality for all people, regardless. And that's Bernie Sanders in a nutshell. Um, and he calls himself a democratic socialist. Oh, and I have joined the socialist movement as a result of people like Bernie Sanders, because of Bernie Sanders. I would say there's two people in the 1990s that made me embrace socialism was Bill Clinton and Bernie Sanders. Now, Bill Clinton was an inspiration for a bad reason. Bill Clinton moved the party away from trade unions, moved the party away from the New Deal consensus. And people kept on calling me a socialist because I was insisting on the FDR New Deal ways. And I've been told in the college Democrats, we're not New Deal Democrats anymore. We're New Democrats. We're basically this was the 1990s when and I just got sick of it. My concerns and my projects and my suggestions in the college Democrats was disregarded, and I'm just like I'm going to go third party. So I did. I became a socialist, and Bernie Sanders was an inspiration for me being a socialist all these years. Um, and again, I supported him in 2016. I supported him in 2020. And while I did support Bernie Sanders in 2020, I was interested in another candidate in the primaries. I call her my second choice. And I was interested, and y'all hear me talk about Tulsi Gabbard a lot. And I talk about her because she's one of the most misunderstood politicians in the United States, and people who should be admiring and her and supporting her tend to disregard her. Now, for the corporate Democrats that disregard her, I expect no less from them. But there are the progressive communities divided. and they are divided, and they have pretty much said some harsh things. Some in the progressive community have said some harsh things about Tulsi Gabbard, and I'm frankly I'm sick of it. She is a she's a fine woman. As I said, I prefer Bernie Sanders over Tulsi Gabbard in the primaries, but I was pretty impressed with some of the things that Tulsi Gabbard said, and she's she's a veteran. She served overseas towards the duty. She served in the medical unit of the Hawaiian National Guard as a major in the U.S. Army, the Hawaiian National Guard. And she's seen the pillages of war. She's anti-war, and the military-industrial complex hates her because of this. And because of that, they was just Bernie Sanders. They were after this time. They want him out of the way. They really wanted Tulsi Gabbard, in some ways, even more so out of the way. But I thought that a Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard ticket would have been the perfect way to put a stop to the Trump presidency, and not just to put a stop to the Trump presidency, but put a stop to the Democratic Party's previous ways of always trying to tiptoe away from its New Deal consensus. And because I want the New Deal consensus, I want something to the left of the New Deal, and something quite radical, more radical than the New Deal. And I think that Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard would have been that perfect choice. With Bernie Sanders, you would have primarily a progressive economic program. We're talking about fair trade practices. We're talking about Medicare for all. We're talking about a strong safety net, job guarantees, uh, and policies that would mirror the United States if some of his ideas were to be implemented. Would mirror the United States with places like Norway, Sweden, Denmark, places that have their single payer Medicare for all system, places that have free college, places that where they have a foreign policy of non-interventionism, and and Bernie Sanders embodies those values. And the right wing people that hates him, they couldn't be more wrong about him wanting to turn the United States into North Korea or China or the Soviet Union. They're smear merchants, and they're wrong. Well, Tulsi Gabbard, she had wonderful ideas about non-interventionism, getting the United States out of these wars abroad, stopping all the U.S. foreign policy based bullying of countries around, like the bullying against Cuba, the bullying against Iran, the bullying against Venezuela. That was the crux of her platform. And she went a little further left. And Bernie supports these things too, but she went a little further than Bernie. She really wanted to take the military-industrial complex on. Not only that, she also called for basically for freeing Julian Assange, Ed Snowden, people like that, Chelsea Manning. And these people are the Daniel Ellsberg of our time. Daniel Ellsberg from the Pentagon Papers. And Tulsi Gabbard wants the United States to not be involved all around the world, to protect our American troops and to protect America from being harmed by radicals across the ocean, because the United States intervenes and get themselves involved with these crazy wars abroad that made our country and made the West less safe. I tell these things to some of these Trump supporters. You don't want refugees coming into the United States from the Middle East. There's one effective way of taking care of that. That is because the United States getting involved with these wars caused the situation. And I just think it would be great as a foreign policy thing to take care of our business here in the United States and not be involved with intervention abroad. So this would have been the perfect team to take care of to take care of Donald Trump and Mike Pence. Um, and then let me just stop for just a second. I have a live stream person contacting me, and he can contact me on the discussion side of the YouTube profile, and I'll be glad to talk with him in a few moments or leave a comment so I can take care of his concerns. But anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. Both candidates are in favor of the New Deal, Green New Deal. And when it comes to campaigning, the campaigns between Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard teaming up against Donald Trump and Mike Pence. Imagine Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump in a debate. Imagine. Just imagine that. I mean, what would happen? And I mean, Bernie Sanders being a populist, being a progressive populist, speaking up for the forgotten man and woman from all walks of life to take on naked, mean corporate abuse and manipulation of our economy. And Donald Trump, who played fake populism in 2016, he's not even doing that much anymore. He's basically sucked up to the Wall Street gangsters, the corporatists, and he's going along with that. And to expose Donald Trump for the corporatist shill that he is. And when it comes to Tulsi Gabbard and Mike Pence, who represents, I mean, as bad as Donald Trump is, Mike Pence is worse because he represents all that was nasty about George W. Bush and Dick Cheney. What Kyle Kalinske called movement conservatism. That definitely applies to Mike Pence. And Tulsi Gabbard would have been able to destroy this neocon piece of turd in the debate. And it would have been, and I have said this over and over again, about this theoretical debate between Tulsi Gabbard and Mike Pence. It would have been beautiful to see him destroyed by her. The way she destroyed Kamala Harris last year in the debate, in the primaries debate. Could you imagine her doing that to Mike Pence? And even all you Tulsi Gabbard haters out there who loves Kamala Harris, you have to admit, you have to admit, and if you end up siding with Mike Pence over Tulsi Gabbard, I don't know what to say. But that would have been so beautiful. And here's the thing: although I'm not into political correctness and identity politics, I believe in equality of all people, regardless of your race, your ethnicity, your religious preference, or your non-religious preference, or your sexual orientation, or whatever other walks of life, unless you're part of the 1%, the super wealthy that have control manipulated our economy. I'm bigoted against corporatists. But when it comes to the people, I love humanity. And the problem with the Democratic Party is that they focus too much on identity politics and not enough on policy. I don't care if I'm called a class reductionist for saying what I'm saying, but it's true. But with Bernie Sanders and with Tulsi Gabbard, you will have diversity. You will have diversity. And can you imagine the first Jewish president of the United States? Can you imagine the first Hindu vice president of the United States? A Polynesian woman from America Samoa? a woman of color. Imagine that. So, thing about it is that there are people out there that yeah, I respectfully take issue with Jimmy Dore and and Kim Iverson, and a few other folks out there, Nico House. Respectfully speaking, was this another one out there? Shoehead. I respect them for liking Tulsi Gabbard over Bernie Sanders, but I'm more of a Bernie Sanders person because that's what I've been used to all my life. But if Tulsi Gabbard were to run in the year 2024, for where it stands right now, I could see myself very much backing her. But I am a Bernie Sanders supporter, so if he runs again, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go with Bernie Sanders. But the likelihood of Bernie Sanders running in the year 2024 is pretty minuscule right now. And if neither Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard is running in the year 2024, I'll just have to see what my options are at that point, as everything stands right now. And there's that. Anyway, if you like what you heard, press like. If you dislike it, press dislike. Either way, comment. As a First Amendment absolutist, I feel obliged to say if you got a platform, utilize it because we're all the muckrakers of our time. Share this video and any other content on my channel. As I said, like, dislike, comment, share, and above all else, please, please, please subscribe. And until next time, peace. Bernie Sanders for president in the year 2024. And no, I wasn't joking when I said that.